So when you first start a business is a child. Now, a child cannot request credit. A child can't do anything. It can't walk. It can't fend for itself. It can't do anything. So you, as the parent, which is the owner of the company, have to raise the child. By you raising the child is by starting off with what they call tier 1, 2, 3, 4 type credit. Now, in order to get credit cards, some type of loans, and financing, then you will have to use your personal credit score or your personal credit, because your business is still a child. However, if your business has been in business, let's say 5 years, it's making money, let's say $25,000 to $30,000 a month, it's making money, you also have good credit, or even if you don't have good credit, you have some decent credit. Your business is making money, it keeps money in the bank, because the bank checks like daily minimum balances, right? So let's say you have a low credit score, but you keep a daily minimum balance for over 90 days, $10,000 or more. So now, as a business that's been in business for 5 years, you're making revenues about $50,000 per month, you filed your taxes, you did all of these things because you are conducting business. You can then go to the bank, because the business itself is now able to stand on its own 2 feet without you. But in order for the business to be able to do that, you have to build it. You have to use your personal credit, pay back the loans, let the business build up, so that way now when it's time for that business to be able to stand on its own, it can pass on its own, and they will give it to just the business without you having to personally guarantee it. But you have to build that up first. So that's getting the vendor credits for 30 days, the supplier credits that's giving you the 60 days payments. Then you start off with, like, you know, the department stores, the Home Depot cards, the Granger cards, and things like that, because we're going to need that, right? You're going to have to buy tools, material, and equipment like that. Right. Then you can move into the gas cards. Then you can move into the fleet vehicles. So now, that's once you learn how to maintain and manage, let's say you have all of those credit options, and you learn how to maintain and manage all that, and all that is reporting back to your paydex score. This is telling the people or the lenders that, hey, this business is grown enough to take money, manage it responsibly, and I am my own individual asking for money. But until then, you have to be the parent to request the money for the business to build it up. So you have to do that for the business until it's able to do that for itself.
How do the tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 apply to that?
So when you first start a business, you don't have, on your personal side, we have credit bureaus, right? Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. So for you to establish something like that on the business side, you have to get a paydex score. And a paydex score is similar to your Equifax, TransUnion, and also the other one, right? So when you get your first credit, your tier 1 credit could be stuff like Uline, Quill, stuff you can order office equipment for, papers, pens, printers, computers, things like that. So that way they'll extend it 30 days, you pay it back in 30 days or 21 days, because you want to pay back 3 weeks instead of 4 weeks. The earlier you pay, the better your credit. So now the paydex score is from 0 to 100. So the more people you pay back ahead of time, shoot your paydex score up. So if you have an 80 paydex score, that's equivalent to like a 750 personal credit score. So with an 80 paydex score and a 640 credit score personal, you can get some financing from your business. And how to get financing from jump would be the best way. The easiest way would be with credit cards. You get high limit credit. You get few credit cards. You got to go to the branch. You tell them you want some high limit credit cards, business credit cards, so that way you get the limits over $5,000. And you can liquidate that, turn that into a loan for 18 months.
So for a business, what would be considered a high limit credit card?
Those Chase Sapphire cards, American Express cards.
What amount?
$25,000 a month.
Do the interest rates, are they similar to the interest rates for personal credit cards?
The interest rates will go by your credit score.
Okay.
They're going to have to check the credit score, because you're personal guaranteeing credit. But that's the quickest way to get money in your business. But once you get the money, what you going to do with it? You don't have an offer. You don't know how to market it. You don't even know what to say to get people to be interested. You don't even know what problems you want to solve.
So you should have some kind of financial executable plan before you pursue this, or in the process of pursuing it.
You should at least know what problems there are out there, and what problems that you are able to solve that you can turn into a business. In that simplest term.
You say somebody starts as a baby in this, right? Or say they raised the newborn. How old does the baby have to be before you think they can get to the timeline where they can go and get a $25,000 credit card in their business?
Oh, as soon as they're born. I put it like this: as soon as they're born. As soon as they're born. But this is the catch: you got to have excellent credit on a personal side in order to do so. Don't think you're gonna go in there with, I don't want to give a number, but I'm saying if you got at least a 720 credit score, you're gonna get yourself, not guaranteed, but there's more things, more factors that they look at. But essentially, if you have a good credit mix, your credit profile's more than 2-3 years, low inquiries, and you maintain, let's say you got $5,000 and you maintain a good 30%, it's fair game that you can go in there and get a high limit credit card. Don't think if you got anything less than that, it's going to be very, very hard to get a credit card like that. You'll probably get depending on your credit, $3,000, but you can still build it from there. But the minimum you're going to get on a business side, if your credit is decent, it'll be like $3,000 to $5,000. But you can start off with Capital One. I started off with like I think it's the Spark Business or something like that, with like $300. It's kind of like a secured credit card, but for business. That was like the only one I was able to find that to help the business side when it comes to boosting up your credit.
And that's with a decent credit score there, even then?
That was a terrible credit score when I got that Capital One shit. I think it was like, I ain't gonna say terrible, but it was probably like 620. I had charge-offs, late payments. I had stuff on my credit report. I can't remember if I paid like the secured part. I can't remember if I paid for it.
So Capital One would probably be the ideal card to start with. If you have poor credit, poor credit score.
I'm not saying that, but Capital One will be a good place. Even on a personal side, I've had many Capital One cards, destroyed them, fixed my credit up, and got back more Capital One cards. So the name of the game is fix, build up, repair, repeat, rinse, keep the same process going all over again.
Now, on personal credit, you hear the term trade lines. Is that applicable to business credit too?
A trade line,
to help increase it?
They both have trade lines. A trade line is just a creditor reporting on your report.
Trade line is just a creditor reporting on your report.
Because they'll use that
line or Granger would be considered a trade line.
Right, and Capital One, Chase. Just on a personal side, they call them your creditors, and on the business side, they're used as a trade line.
I guess I had a misunderstanding of what it meant. You know how you can have, say for instance, your wife has a high credit score. Your credit score is low, so you got to put a card in your name. You don't use the card or anything like that, but it attaches to your credit score somehow, right? Like your credit profile, I should say. Does it help your credit profile?
Oh, you like an authorized user?
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I mean, what that do is you share somebody else's credit history. I would rather just get a cosigner. No, unless somebody's like, that's what parents do to their kids and whatnot. They'll give them a credit card. Yes, it will definitely help your credit, but if I'm looking at your credit, I'm still seeing that you're not a responsible person who can pay bills because someone extended their credit to you. So you're using someone else's credit that someone else is paying the bill. You're not essentially paying the bill. Nor are you responsible to pay the bill as authorized user.
Right, so it definitely, if it has any benefits, it would definitely be minimal.
Yeah, it boosts your credit score. Like I said, when I'm looking at it as a human, these are the things that I'm going to be thinking about in my head.
Right.
Even though he has a 720 credit score, how do I know this person is responsible of paying his bills on a monthly basis? Even though he got a 720 credit score from an authorized user, I know the authorized user that extended him this credit card may have a better credit history because now I can see. You see that shit?
Right. That's a eagle.
I don't know what the hell that is, but he got lunch.
Yeah.
Well, breakfast.
Oh, breakfast, yeah.
Because you don't have no payment history. You got to show that you can make payments on time, every time, each and every month. So all these factors go into play. So it's not just the credit score. That's why people have a 720 credit score and still get denied credit. They be like, what the fuck? You don't understand.
So you started like that. You got a bad credit profile, right? What would you say is the first step that they would take to increase their credit score enough to where they could apply this tactic for this business credit?
Well, if you're starting off with bad credit and you know you have bad credit, well, the first thing you got to do is pull your credit report from all three of the bureaus first. And then from there, you got to figure out what the negative items are. Rather it be a charge-off, late payment, lien, judgments, possessions, whatever it is.
So they go to their websites?
My Identity IQ or annualcreditreport.com.
My Identity IQ. And then what? That's when they...
All right. So let's say you go get your 3 reports and scores, and tell you what your 3 reports and scores are. Now you want to figure out who are these creditors that is actually reporting to you. Are they familiar? Do you have these credit cards? Do you know what these people are? Are these actually your balances? Do you know these things? And regardless if you know them or not, it is their job to prove that is actually yours. So you don't want to volunteer information. You want to make the work to prove that the item is actually yours. So now when people dispute credit, this is not to remove items that you're supposed to be paying because you still obligated to pay. My nigga, you got the loan, so it's yours. Pay it back.
Yeah.
So regardless of the fact, you still have to send out some dispute letters depending on the type of negative item. And once you send out that dispute letters, you wait. You wait 30 days, 45 days sometimes for them to get back to you. Depending on their reply, you would either send another letter or they would actually remove it from your credit report. But you gotta first know what's on it, and first identify if everything is valid.
Are you successful at that process? First of all, how can you tell when you're successful at it? Dispute letters. Does your credit profile show some kind of change?
It's like working out when you see gains.
So your credit score may change.
When you see gains, like it doesn't matter if your credit score changes. Like if you put it like this, if you send a letter out, if you start working out and you start to see some definition, the process of you working out is what is making the definition happen. So when you sending out dispute letters, you're not looking to just boost your credit score. You're either looking to correct it. So there's going to be items that either come off, your score maybe go up, your score may even go down. But all you're trying to do is make sure whatever this information is absolutely correct. So by you seeing that when you send a letter out that you've never sent out before, and it did any one of those things, that's a gain.
Got it.
You may get discouraged when your credit go down, but the reason being, if your credit score go down, it's probably because you either updated something that needed to be updated or it adjusted your credit link, like your credit history. Right. So if you went from 5 years to 2 years because you disputed something, that definitely affects your credit score.
It's like an episode of Intro to Credit Repair.
All that, right?